Let's look at one-to-one functions. So first, let's remember if we're given a graph, how do we determine if that graph is a graph of a function? And if you remember, that was using the vertical line test. So if we are trying to find if it's one-to-one function, we are going to use kind of the same similar concept, but the horizontal line test. So if we draw a horizontal line and it connects in the graph or passes through the graph in two or more points on the graph, then it's just not a one-to-one function. And most of the time you're checking that it is a function and one-to-one. So you're really checking kind of both the vertical line test and the horizontal line test. Certainly in my class in the homework, that is what you're checking because it's literally saying, are these graphs of one-to-one functions? So we want it to pass both tests. Okay, so looking at this really quickly, if I have the first graph here, obviously that is a graph of a function because it passes the vertical line test, but now we're going to check horizontal lines to see, does this pass the horizontal line test? And generally, you could say yes for everywhere except for this part right here might be kind of questionable. And sometimes I have students that will say no for that reason right there because it kind of flattens out. But if you were to kind of zoom in right there, the graph really kind of looks like this, and everywhere is still going to have a unique value. And so basically, this would still be passing the horizontal line test. Just because it flattens out there doesn't mean it actually flattens out if you were to zoom in. So here is this one-to-one. Yes. Looking at our middle one here, does it pass the vertical line test to be a function? Yes. Let's check to see if it's a one-to-one function. That's the horizontal line test. And if we do the horizontal line, we can see that it is touching it in two places. Therefore, it is not one-to-one. Lastly, this last one, does it pass the vertical line test? Yes. Let's check the horizontal line test. So here's a horizontal line, just one time, one time, one time, one time. So every one of these is just going to be one time, and this will be yes. One other quick note on this, if you remember, it is a function if it passes the vertical line test, which means no x's duplicate, no repeat x's. With the horizontal line test, you have no repeat y's. Okay, so for example, if I looked at these 2 points, both of those y values are 4. That's how you know that this is not one-to-one. So really, if I'm asking if it's a one-to-one function, I'm checking that none of the x's repeat and none of the y's repeat.